Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment.
Broadcasting live from Strong Island Studios in Massapequa, New York.
You're listening to Man Up
with Eric Holzman and Matt Lehman.
Good evening, and welcome to a special holiday edition of Man Up. I'm here as always. Well, not as always, because last week I missed, but I'm back again, I should say. But I'm here with Eric Holzman, as always, my gracious host.
What's going on, y'all?
So we're doing a holiday show a little bit early, a week early, because we're going to be missing New Year's Day and Christmas Day by one day. But
yeah,
whatever.
We have to do it before because next week will be the day after, so we kind of have to cover our bases. And
yeah, of course. So we got the Yule log behind us, the hats. We're a little festive here. So I have a question. When you were a kid, what was the best gift you've ever gotten?
Best gift? There's a bunch of them. But the one that, probably the first time I got Nintendo.
Really?
That was probably the best gift I remember getting because I knew a bunch of people had it and I wanted it. And my parents were like, no, you can't have it. And they kept saying, no, no. And so I didn't think I was getting it. And then on Christmas morning, I opened it and I was like, wow. I remember playing that all day.
I remember, ironically, I didn't even know you were going to bring that up, but my dad and my mom, they bought Nintendo. They got Mario and it came with Duck Hunt, right?
Right.
And my dad's a big hunter, so he's not huge into like video games now or anything even close to that, right? He's like almost technology like irrelevant, right?
Right.
He crashed our desktop computer like in 5 minutes the first time we got like a gateway PC, right? But either way, I remember playing Duck Hunt with him in their bedroom, and it was in his bedroom, and we'd always have to go in there to play it, so I feel like he played it too. But so I remember Nintendo fondly, and I can kind of relate to your memory.
Right.
My favorite gift, it's not one specific, but the genre. I got like 20 or 30 wrestlers one year and a ring, and my cousins lived next door, and between us, we had probably like 100 wrestlers. So we'd have like the battle royales, and we'd come out and be like,
these were the old rubber ones, right? That didn't
not
move
rubber,
at all? No,
the ones that were like plastic almost,
all right.
With the arms that moved, and then the ring had like, it wasn't the rubber, but we did have two of those, like the Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior ones, and then I think like King Kong Bundy, whatever. The guy, was it George the Animal Steel with the green tongue?
Yep, he had the green tongue, and there was Andre the Giant, they had Jimmy Superfly Snuka. And
so we had those. I also had the wrestling buddies, and I'm not really, to be honest, I'm not really huge into, not that I'm against it, I just kind of fell out of love with wrestling. I can appreciate it still,
right?
But it was more when I was younger, right? So
yeah,
that was the best. I think those were the best gifts, the fondest memories I've had, and then obviously getting a puppy. I mean, that's kind of always up there.
That's always awesome.
Yeah,
like getting a pet. Speaking of puppies, not that I got one, but
did you see that meme I sent you yesterday?
There's a Shake-a-Paw near where I work.
Oh my God!
And I go there sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh and it's the one I go there every once in a while during lunch just to see and it's the worst. I don't know why I do that because I want to take them all home with me.
We're not giving a free promotion to Shake-a-Paw, but in all honesty, it's like one of the best pet shops, especially your puppies. And you walk through what used to be the regular pet shop area, and now there's a hole in the wall, and you go into this back, and it's like puppy heaven.
It really is.
Literally.
And I feel terrible because I can't.
There's probably like 100 puppies there, though.
I would say close to it. Yeah, I would say.
Why do you torture yourself?
I don't know. It's terrible. If you
can get another dog, what kind of dog would it be?
A husky. I would get a Siberian husky. That's the dog I wanted when I got my. Yeah.
It's kind of like this,
I know, right? But no, I think they're beautiful dogs. I love them.
I want a wiener dog. I do. I know they have back problems and whatever, but I honestly, when I was renting, I was living with a few different ones, actually, ironically. Like
really?
Two of them, yeah. And I just fell in love with them. I don't know.
No, hey, everyone likes the breed they like. So.
Yeah, for sure. So what are your plans for Christmas coming up?
It's always a family thing for me.
Just Christmas Day or Christmas Eve?
My sister Allison has Christmas Eve. She actually lives like a mile from here, not even.
Okay.
She has Christmas Eve, and I think I explained this before. I might not have. When she first got married, she lived downstairs of an Italian family. So she got ingrained with all the fish and all that stuff.
You've told me of this, yeah.
So we do that. She does that for us, and we do that on Christmas Eve. And then my sister Pat, I believe, is having Christmas Day at her house. And there probably will be ham and prime rib. And all
I
that.
think we got some ham on the menu too. I heard my mom talk to my dad about it.
There you
Also
go.
some raviolis. My dad works at Deer Park Ravioli
Oh,
sometime
boy.
during the holidays, and he hand rolls them, and they're like delicious, like
I want
butter,
some of that.
like butter.
Right.
So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go to my mom's on Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Day I'm gonna be at Kim's mom's, or no, Kim's sisters. I'm sorry, and they have a big family thing, and it should be awesome.
Yeah. It's
So
always
Christmas.
yeah.
Christmas came early though today. I feel like for
It did for
a large portion of New Yorkers.
Yeah.
Maybe you can enlighten them what I'm talking about.
We actually talked about them last week for the first time on the show when Karen was here. Shout out to Karen for coming on last week again. And yeah, we discussed the Islanders last week, and there had been a bid at Belmont Park. There were a couple of bids that had been put in. One was by the Islanders, and one was by the New York City Football Club,
Yep.
NYCFC.
Yep.
And the Islanders won the bid today. And so that was, yeah, right? So it was a big deal because the whole, they wanted to leave Barclays and
Yeah.
they didn't like it there and the ice is bad and it's really not a good hockey arena.
It's easier than well, actually it's not easier, but the commute will be easier than Brooklyn, but it's still not on Long Island, but I mean, well, for you it is because you live right there, right?
It is on, Elmont is Long Island.
I view it as Queens. I do. It's right on the border. Like, it's right next to the highway that splits it, basically.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Anyway.
it does.
But
It's
either
right
way,
there.
awesome.
But the benefit it has too is like Barclays, it has railroad access, direct railroad
Yeah,
access.
no, that's huge.
So people who live out east now will be able to come
And if you've gone and
there.
seen the ponies, you probably know a
Right.
little bit about how to
Right.
get there. It's going to be similar areas, right?
Yeah, it's the exact same area except it's going to be in back of the park.
Okay.
It's hard to explain it if you're not looking at it. If we were looking at a map, I could show you where it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
But they're also building a hotel with it. There's going to be
Yeah.
a shopping village and some kind of innovation center that they're going to partner with the community and build. So
Okay.
I don't know what
What does that
means.
mean?
I don't know. I'm assuming it's some kind of science meets I don't know.
Like a lab almost?
Yeah, or like a museum type thing where kids can go and do
Oh, okay. So like a Liberty Science Center or something like that?
right, something like I'm
Interesting.
assuming
They already have that the Aerospace Museum right there, so it's kind of similar. I'm sorry, they don't. On Long
No.
Island they have that.
Yes.
I'm thinking about
well near the old Coliseum, near the Coliseum they have
That's
that.
what I was thinking.
Yes.
Because I don't know where my mind just went, but I just remember when they were talking about maybe knocking down the old NASA Coliseum and doing that whole big thing.
Yeah, the
It was
Lighthouse
similar.
Project.
It was
Yes.
similar.
It is,
Like the shops
It's
and-
very similar to what Charles Wang wanted to do when he owned the
Yeah.
Islanders with the Lighthouse Project. There will be opposition to this, I'm sure. I mean, anytime it's a huge construction, and Floral Park in Elmont is kind of a quiet area. So I'm sure there's going to be some opposition to it. I don't think it'll be as bad because it's not Garden City. So Garden City is a little bit different. But the key to this is hopefully once it starts that John Tavares will resign
Yeah, but I think
with the team.
I understand that, right? But John Tavares, do you think he's going to be paid more because of this? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, is it because he's going to sell the arena? Like, so you want to have that, so
No,
you'll go over the top to pay him? There's a
he-
cap, so I mean, right? Like,
Yeah, no, but the point is he wanted certain things
Okay.
to see certain things go on because, like they said, Barclays didn't feel like home to them. Most of the
Gotcha.
Islanders said that. So you had certain things like that where he was kind of like, well, if this happens, it'll be a good step in me staying or wanting to stay. He didn't say that, but his agent kind of hinted that.
I gotcha. So he's throwing feelers out there that he wanted things to change, or it could be outski.
Yeah, because the team, they're better, they're good. I wouldn't say they're a great team. They're a good team.
Mm-hmm.
They have still have holes on defense, which I
course.
discussed last week with Karen. But no, this was one of the big things they wanted done for the whole franchise too. Everyone wanted it. The fans wanted it. So I'm glad it just happened.
Well, listen, you're excited, and guys, if you want to talk about that especially, give us a call, 516-945-9099.
yeah, if you're an Islander fan, or even if you're just a Long Islander who's happy that we're building something new, because we
For
don't
sure.
we don't do a lot of new building around here.
And also, listen, I know we kind of got away from it because we're starting to talk about this now, but the toys thing, I'd love to know what people's favorite toys are because
Yeah.
it makes me reminisce too and think of other times. you
Yeah,
know?
whatever your favorite gift was.
Like
if it
when
was
the
a-
Islanders were good, like when you're.
Well, yeah, when that was you weren't even born yet when that happened.
I just started, 84, right there.
Yeah.
But listen, I think it's going to be great for that area. You live it will be good and it'll be bad. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, traffic, of course, is going to.
It's going to be horrible.
I don't know if it's not like it's a football team. You know, if there was a football stadium, like that one time, I remember they were talking the Jets wanted to go there. That would have been a much bigger deal.
But with JFK and stuff, like I feel like it could be a nightmare.
No, it's not.
It's not next to it, but
it's about 15 minutes away. But it's just a plus to have.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be as bad because again, it's not a football team.
Yeah.
It's not even a basketball.
It's only
team.
18,000
It's a hockey team.
seats. So.
Right, and I mean the Islanders have a very loyal fan base, but. Outside of those fans, you're not going to be getting a lot of people.
Now, the cool thing about this is there's going to be another concert venue in New York.
Right.
That's another thing that's kind of cool because I don't always want to go to Jones Beach. Like, I mean, Jones Beach is cool. Like, don't get me wrong, but having another option there and that I could take the train to is cool.
Right. Well, that was always the issue with the Coliseum is that there was no direct line access.
No.
Like, you had to go to Hempstead and then take the bus from Hempstead or take a cab. So that was always kind of the problem there. But yeah, they said up to 150 events, extra events a year outside of the hockey team.
Cool.
They're expecting.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it'll be a big boon for the area too. So I'm hoping that it happens. They won the bid, so that was the first step. Now there's always legal hurdles with locals wanting to stop stuff and.
Yeah, but this sounds like it's got to get a lot of momentum behind it, and it's just like, there's no way. Like, I'm sorry. Like, people are going to riot. There's so much passion for this team that, I mean, I'm not even a fan, but I see it. Like, it's like the Jets.
Well, yeah.
It's like you have
this
that,
before,
you know,
too.
or the
we've been through this before at the Lighthouse Project, which we didn't get. So if this didn't happen this time, it would be like another gut punch. And I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if.
You're trying not to get your hopes up, or I think you're good, right?
No, I'm very happy that they got approved and they won the bid, so I'm happy with that. But again, like we've been through this before. So we have to see what happens now with, like I said, legal opposition. What are they asking? I don't even know if it's fully funded by the partnership group, but are they asking for public payment or taxpayer money? I don't know. I don't think they are, but I don't really know. So
that'll all be released tomorrow, right? Like the bid.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure we'll get more of the details.
Yeah, and then you get some blowback, but whatever. It should be good. So, another blue and orange team. Like my segues, guys? Cheesy as heck, but whatever. The Knicks. They've had a mixed bag of fortunes recently. With the wins, they've actually been doing well. Last night, they kind of got blown out. I think them not having their two main scorers in Kristaps and Hardaway Jr. really hurt them. It caught up to them last night. You're going to have some off games. But against the Hornets, I mean, you should be able to put down the Hornets.
I think the Hornets hadn't been playing well. They only had 10 wins going in, huh? Kaminsky did look good. Frank the Tank looked good last night. But yeah, they weren't playing well. So I think they thought, because there was some talk Porzingis might play, and then I think they probably thought, well, they have the Celtics coming up next.
Yeah.
So, just rest them again. We might be able to be competitive. They weren't. Not from the beginning of the game. They couldn't shoot, really. Last night, that's what it was about. They could not make their shots.
I mean, listen, they're not a volume three-point shooting team.
They're really not. They're one of the teams that takes the least amount of threes.
But they're accurate.
Yeah.
That's what's been serving them well. I mean, if you look at the percentages, I think they're in the top half of the league in terms of threes.
Yeah, but like they have to be because they're not a great defensive team. They're better, but they're not a great defensive team. So if they're not hitting their shots,
they were talking about maybe. Since we don't have these guys in games like this, we slow it down a little, because you know what I mean?
When they don't, I would rather them push the tempo when they don't have them, because
But then they don't have guys to match the scoring.
They're
That's
a faster
the problem.
team.
Yeah.
Without, I mean, Porzingis can run the floor, but he's not fast. So Cantor,
he's like a gazelle out there, though.
Cantor, well, he's got long legs.
Or a giraffe, right?
So like his 2 steps from him is like 10 for the rest
exactly.
of us.
So who cares how slow he's moving? He's making it in 3 steps across the floor.
But they last night it was a bad game. It's one of those games I would just crumble up, throw away, not even look at it, and say, okay, move on to the next one, because it was kind of a trap game that had, which we're going to get to in a little bit, the Oklahoma City win, which was a huge win.
It was
for them. And then they have the Celtics, so this game kind of was in the middle, and I think they kind of caught them.
Well, they won 3 or 4 in a row. I can't remember.
They had won 4 in a row.
4 in a row, and then they came in, they hit a little wall, but like I said, it's to be expected. They still are playing very well as a team. I still like what I see because, you know what the thing is like in the past, Melo is out or whatever, your star's out, you see a big dip off.
Yes.
And it's yeah, they did lose yesterday, and it looked like they were missing their star. But guys like Beasley have stepped in nicely when Porzingis is out. And actually, when Porzingis is out of the lineup, Beasley is averaging 19.9 points a game, which is almost 6-man numbers. They're talking about. Yeah,
a little better than that.
Well, yeah, but I mean you have to average in every game. I'm talking about the games without Porzingis where he's starting. He's getting 19.9. But if you look at his collective average for the season, I can't remember what it is. I think it's around like 12, right? But either way, Beasley, nice little addition, a little bit crazy, but some games he steps up, he comes in, and he makes you forget the loss of the other two guys. You know?
He's been key to their offense when they've been out. Like one of the two stars have been out. He's been a really important part of their offense. So I'm happy with what he brings. A couple of my friends are eating crow on that one because they did not like Beasley and wanted him cut. And I was like, no, he'll be all right. There'll be games where he'll win. You know, they won't win it for you, but he'll keep them in it. Yeah, and that's what happened against Oklahoma City. He's
like J.R. Smith, but like less. I mean, J.R. Smith's not very consistent, but less consistent.
He's nowhere near. J.R. Smith is nowhere near as efficient as Beasley is. You're right in their mindset. They're both a little. They're both
certain
a little
nights
out
they're
there.
on, they're off. Yeah, exactly.
They're both a little out there.
You need a guy like that sometimes, but sometimes it could be cancerous in the locker room. But obviously, he's embracing New York, and he's the least of their problems. I mean, Kanter. He does well, but you could see he's not what he was because he's a little hurt, a little banged up.
Yeah, he has the back issue, has a hip issue. He has a lot of stuff going on.
That's a big deal for a big man. I mean,
and well, yeah, of course, it's a big deal for
any lower body
little man
or back. Yeah, well, but there's more weight on the.
No, back is bad for everybody. We all know that. That's never a good sign. So we're just okay. So they played on Saturday against Oklahoma City. Mm-hmm. And it was Melo's return.
Yep.
And did you watch the game?
I watched a little bit of it, and honestly, I don't know. I'm glad that he's not on our team anymore. Even though he's towing the company line, and he's he's kind of saying, hey, I don't have to score as long as we're winning. I think he's still a little frustrated, and it's like he thought the grass was greener, and he found out that it's not. Well, not to say it's not because they have better players, but. It's not working out the way they thought it would.
Well, no, definitely not. And it's not just him. It was kind of a bad marriage from the beginning because you had Russell Westbrook is very ball dominant. Paul George needs the ball. Melo they all need the ball. So you have three guys now who really aren't good without the basketball, and you're
too many mouths to feed.
Yeah, and they're kind of stuck in how they're supposed to play. Because Westbrook likes to push the pace, and George can do that too. But Melo's really more of a half-court player, especially now. So you just have a team that doesn't mesh well together, and I think that's what you saw. Like that's what you saw on Saturday. Melo started really well.
See, it took a little while for the Heat to kind of get going, but the thing is, it's a different situation because they don't have a LeBron that can listen. Russell Westbrook averaged over 10 last year, obviously triple-double, right?
Yeah, he averaged triple-double.
But some of those were the product of him going to the lane hard and then dishing, right?
Well, yeah.
So they're easy dunks because the people are trailing him. He's doubled, so you have the guy wide open. You just go like this. He doesn't have guys like that anymore. And not to say Steven Adams isn't like that, but the other two are more perimeter guys. They like to do isolation. Paul George is obviously great on the defensive end, so that helps them in that respect. But it's different. I mean, the other thing you got to look at, not just the Melo side of things. I know we're getting off the Knicks, but that Paul George trade right now, Victor Oladipo looks crazy, man.
Yeah, they definitely right now. I think that both of the teams that George and Melo left have won those trades. At this moment, I would have to say that both, and it could change. We don't know what.
Oladipo reminds me of.
But he's been incredible.
Yeah.
Like Oladipo has been like superstar level good.
Yeah, like it reminds me of the Harden deal. Like they let him go, and then look at him, boom, done.
No one saw this coming from Oladipo though. Like he's always been a good player.
He's always progressed, but this is a epic leap.
This is a huge leap. So
it's like a Giannis leap from last year. Like
pretty much, he's been incredible. Like I can't believe he's the same player. I did like him in college. I remember watching him in college. He was very good. I didn't think he'd be this level good, though.
Everyone can make that leap. It's 1 year in the NBA is like it can transform a player. Even Kristaps, I mean, yeah, he has the injuries now, but we were talking about it earlier in the year. He's got a bigger body. He's not getting bullied in the post as much. Different kind of mindset. Now, hopefully, Ntilikina in a year we're going back and we're like, oh, remember I was talking about him?
Yeah.
Listen, he's got problems with fouls. It's like I see two different players each game. It's a different player basically.
There's
good and bad.
He's young, and you can see he's a rookie, and he's still trying to feel his way a lot of times. He's still not sure when he should when he should try and score, or when he should pass. He still looks to pass more than he should score, but he's been a little bit more aggressive offensively since they've been out, since Kristaps has been out, and since Hardaway Jr.'s been out. He's been a little bit more aggressive, trying to.
I think because they forcefully have been like, "Hey, do this."
Well, yeah, I think they're kind of like, "Well, we need you to do more," especially if you're the point guard. He has the ball in his hands, so he's the one that's making the decisions. He's just, again, he's still a little tentative. When I watch him at times, he's not where he needs to be. But he's 19, you kind of have to live with it, I guess, for now, live with the growing pains.
Yeah.
And again, they're playing much better than anyone thought. So the fact that we're having
there's
this
a lot of positives here
right.
this year, and look at it. But I mean, listen, I want to either make the playoffs or do well in the lottery, even if we're like the last pick. So I want both. It's impossible. We're in the middle right now.
Yeah.
We're kind of like the Jets usually are. We're right in the middle.
They're hovering around 500. That's kind of what they're doing.
Whatever.
But again, it's much better than I thought they would be. I thought they would be.
You know who?
Maybe have 10 wins. I thought they'd be like the Hornets are now.
But I like the East a lot more. Like because first of all, the Celtics were always good, but now they're way better.
Right.
They don't even have Gordon Hayward, which is going to be crazy next year to think about. But the Sixers are awesome now.
Sixers are better.
They're really fun to watch.
Yes.
They have Simmons and Embiid. And did you see the other night, actually, speaking of Oklahoma City, with him and
Westbrook?
And then at the end, Westbrook's like, go home. And they're in Philly. And he's like, I am home.
I know.
What are you talking about? But
it was awesome.
It's a fun NBA to watch. And you better hope that the NHL kind of turns a little bit into NBA because of the Tavares thing. Because the players have the power in the NBA. And they pretty much dictate how the league goes. And the NHL kind of is a little bit like that.
It's the same structure.
I mean,
it's the same salary cap structure. Everything is the same.
And I think that you don't let a player like Tavares go. I know it's different sports, but when Porzingis' contract comes up, it's going to be a little different because Tavares had the one big injury, right? But
yeah.
Kristaps,
which he got hurt in the Olympics.
He didn't even
get hurt.
Yeah, but it could have happened anytime. It could have been in practice.
It could have.
You can't really think of it. Hockey's a physical sport, and it can happen anytime, right?
Right.
But the thing is, would you rather? There's not really a would you rather, but if you could choose between having a guy that's getting chronically hurt or a guy that's going to have a huge injury, which one would you prefer and miss a year? Because that's kind of what's going on right now. And when you're going into signing both these guys, it's two different things to think about. Because the Kristaps thing, it's only 1 year away.
Right.
And you got to think, hey.
So is Tavares. Tavares a free agent next
Well,
summer.
he's more like a half a year.
Yeah.
I'm talking, so Kristaps is a year and a half away.
Right.
It's not next summer, but it's the one after.
Right.
So you got to think about it. It's two different situations. But I think Tavares is, you got to lock him up if you can get him. We'll see what happens. Is there a franchise tag in the NHL?
He wants to stay here. I don't think there is, no. There isn't one in the NBA either.
But the NBA is different.
I'm just saying, there's not a franchise tag. You can't keep a guy if he doesn't want to stay.
Yeah.
The only thing in the NBA is the team that has the team can now give those supermax contracts, which are, like exorbitant.
Well, that's cool.
Crazy
But
high.
so there's nothing like that in.
No, they don't have that in the NHL. No.
Really?
Yep. Nothing like that.
Okay.
Now in the NHL though, they seem to have like these 20-year contracts.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that guy signed these really long contracts. And
Bobby Bonilla has a
don't bring that
forever
up for Met
contract.
fans.
Sorry, Mets fans. I know they're salty because they haven't done literally anything.
It's funny.
Get one. Yeah, but the thing is, like, maybe they're just being patient. But I don't have faith in them.
Well, it's a running joke for them now. It's like
they should sell the. I mean, the Wilpons will probably never sell the team, but honestly, they should sell.
It's funny. The Wilpons are part of the group the bid that won the Islanders.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say for the Panthers.
No, they're part of the group, the bid.
All right, so
the management company.
So listen, if you guys, first of all, I don't want to be negative about it, so that's why I'm not commenting on purpose about that. I'm not even a Mets fan, but I feel the pain. They shouldn't even, if they're not in. All right, I'm going to go into it. Now you just wrote me in. If they're going to invest in that, why don't they invest in the team they have already?
It's a fair point.
It's insane. All right, that's.
I mean, I don't know how much of a controlling interest they have in this group.
Are there any angry Mets fans out there? The number is right below. It's 516-945-9099.
Yeah, give us a call.
Seriously, like, call in because
they've done nothing.
And I know that you're frustrated, and we're not going to really talk about the Mets today, but I want to give you a chance to vent. So if you can talk over a fire with the Man Up show and give us a call. We're going to
I wish this was real because I'm getting a little chilly.
Yeah, like a little bit. So going into another topic, we're going to go in the NFL.
Wait, hold on.
Well, do you want to talk about the Knicks still? Do you have something else that you have?
Just the thing. Well,
okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, the question kind of is. Well, I wanted to bring this up because.
Okay, go ahead.
Most people who know me know I was one of the people who wanted Porzingis from the beginning. He was the player I wanted them to draft. I didn't care that he was European. I saw his highlights from when he played over in Europe. I saw his.
Yep.
And I was like, you know what? That's the guy they need to go get. It's a long shot because at the time I wasn't sure, but I'm like, if they had this pick, and then the Knicks always bungle the picks, always play it safe, so I'm like, go for the home run, and they did, and it's worked out. He's been great. But the problem is his injuries.
Yeah.
He always gets hurt.
Talking about. Yeah, for sure.
So, and it's always something nagging or whatever. Do you invest in someone like that based on his talent, thinking, okay, well, if we can get, just saying to yourself, if we get like 70 games a year out of him, we're good with that.
Precedent's set already.
Or,
Precedent is set already. Joel Embiid just got a max contract.
You don't have to compound someone else's mistake.
But what I'm saying is, it's kind of like it's going to happen.
I mean, it probably will. I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, do you think that's the best course of action? Do you think you should? Okay.
For him, yes.
Right. Like
unless something major happens where he like tears his ACL or something like that, which they were talking about it a little on the radio today. The timing is going to be everything with it, because if next summer he's hurt and he's going into it and he had a chronic, this season and then next season, how many games can you really rely on him for?
Well, that's the point. You're building a team around this guy. He's their best player by far. It's not even close. Yeah. So you're building a team around this player, and you're going to invest a ton of money, literally, into him. But should you do that to someone you might not be able to rely on?
I think you do, because there's so few stars in the NBA, and you just don't come by a guy like that.
I think it's really an interesting question. On talent, it's an easy answer. On talent alone, of course, you do it. You don't think twice, but
durability, athleticism.
Right? What's the saying is that the best ability is availability.
Yeah.
Right. So if he's not going to be available every game, every time you go out, are you going to give him that kind of a contract? They are, because they're going to be stuck. They're not going to have a choice. But it's an interesting question to ask, and to ask you and other fans, because we all love the talent. Is the risk worth the reward? That's what you need to know.
For me, it is. Just because, also,
it's a cap league.
How long have we waited to get a star?
No, you're right.
So you got to.
I love the guy, so on that side of things, I'm like, yeah, definitely.
If he gets that bad, he'll retire. So I mean, I'm serious though. I mean, I don't want to joke about it, but Yao Ming, it happened. It happens. There's big guys. They have foot problems.
It's true.
Hopefully, like I said in the beginning of the year, he starts to do yoga and stuff to make his joints. You're laughing, but Tim Duncan, that's why his whole body transformed.
No, I'm not laughing that
all these big guys
it doesn't work. I'm just laughing that you think. That's funny.
I'm influenced. Kim, she actually is a trained yoga teacher.
Okay.
But last football season, prior to her getting into DraftKings, she took a yoga training course every Sunday. So she probably would have got into it earlier. So number 24, number 8, Kobe Bryant his number was retired yesterday.
Yeah.
Big day.
Yeah, it was
They said the fanfare was insane. Like his last game, in terms of the amount of celebrities,
right,
was comparable to this,
right?
Apparently, so basically, there's Jack Nicholson, all the basics, and then there's all these other people in sports, in movies. It was a big star-studded event, and the cool thing is or the weird thing, whatever way you want to look at it, is he had 2 jerseys retired, number 24 and number 8, and. He decided he wanted to switch because of, I can't remember, maybe his dad wore it or something like that. I can't remember the exact
I think it was something. No, I think it was something as simple as like, I'm not the same player.
I don't have hair.
Or after that happened, it was something similar. Like, as a new start, it was after the rape trial, wasn't it? I think he did it, right?
Something like that.
And it was like he's new beginnings, and yeah. So I think that was when he did it. Whatever, and. But
Magic Johnson
Yes.
You don't have this on the paper here.
Yes. I know what you're going to say.
But you kind of do, but
Right.
you don't. Shame on you. No. Magic Johnson was the one that introduced him.
Yes.
And the way he introduced him, which
Right.
we don't have the soundbite, but eventually in the future we might.
Yes. We
start
will
doing
have
that.
sound bites. We will.
Eventually. He said, and now something to around, now this is not an exact quote, around, hey, like introducing the greatest person to ever put on the blue and or the
purple and
yellow
gold.
and purple and yellow or gold, whatever you, Kobe Bryant, the
Right.
greatest player ever.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't know, do you agree with that?
No.
It's for me, it depends on what you're talking about.
It's not
Most
even
dominant, no.
It's not even a thought.
It
in
is.
my mind. No.
20 years, dude. 20
No.
years. Name a player. Magic Johnson
Yes.
got the HIV virus.
Period. But doesn't matter.
Does matter.
Better player.
No.
Magic Johnson
Wrong.
was a better player.
Nope. Nope. Better prospect? Yes.
No, better player.
But I don't think
Period.
so. Because you could say Kareem also.
Well, no.
Because they're different. No, but you can't say, well, no. You could say Shaquille O'Neal.
Those I would put those guys ahead of him.
And then, Will
You
Chamberlain.
could put Elgin Baylor. You could put Jerry
No.
West. I'm saying
Jerry West, I don't
you
either.
could put these guys there. I don't think they are, but the first three you mentioned, they are.
But
Kareem,
one
Shaq,
of them
and
already
Magic.
acknowledged.
I don't care what Magic Johnson
And
said.
the other thing is, first of all, I think you're putting Magic and you're putting Kobe because they're the only ones that spent their whole career on that team. And that's
Okay.
it. So for me, that's a big deal. They're
Right.
a lifer.
Those
Right?
that's a
And
fair
the
point.
guy that introduced him is the other guy we're talking about, and he called him the greatest Laker ever.
What did you expect him to say?
One of the great Lakers
No.
of our generation.
No, he's not.
Future
Magic-
Hall of Famer.
Magic Johnson is not going to do that.
Magic Johnson is not humble,
on
dude.
Kobe Bryant's night.
He's
not
I
going to
understand
do that.
he's not gonna bush league him, right?
He wouldn't say that.
But he's also not modest. He's
No, he's not. But
dude,
he's not. Kobe Bryant was a great Laker.
better defender.
Was a great.
Better
Stop.
defender.
See, you're gonna get me on this tangent now about how overrated his defense was.
No, better defender because first of all, you can't really compare Magic. Some games he played, Larry Bird, and then he played but Jordan when
Magic
they played.
Magic won a title playing center.
I know that in the one game.
I'm just saying.
I get it. He's 6'9". He was a rookie. It doesn't matter where he's playing. LeBron can play center.
But
whatever roster position you're saying out there,
Kobe Bryant was a volume shooter.
who is clutch as heck.
That I will give him that.
Unbelievable.
Clutch player. Excellent in the clutch. I'll never take that away from him. He won 5 championships.
How many titles does Magic
Congratulations. Huh? 3.
Okay, keep going.
3. Yeah, 3.
Yep.
So, but
How many scoring titles?
whatever. Who cares? How many?
How many-
Okay.
how many MVPs?
How many? Magic has 5 MVPs.
5?
I believe so.
You gotta look that up.
I'm pretty sure he has 5 MVPs.
I don't think that. I think if Magic would have played his whole career and not done whatever he did to get what he did, I'll say it as PC as for many reasons. Right
You
now.
could say that.
Yeah, he got
fine.
HIV. He caught the HIV because he was sleeping around.
Right.
And that doesn't. And listen, Kobe, we already talked about it. Horrible rape thing too. Like, don't really want to talk about this stuff. But it doesn't. In terms of them being on the court, him getting the HIV virus impacted his career, and you can't say the sum of his career as a Laker is better than the sum of Kobe's. You can't.
I'm saying that Magic Johnson was a better basketball player.
Overall,
Than Kobe
all
Bryant
around,
was.
that's fine. Was not the greatest Laker ever.
I think he was.
Because you know what? I think Derek Jeter was the greatest Yankee of all time.
he was a
but
three-
I don't think he was the best player of all
Sorry,
time.
I was wrong. Magic Johnson is a 5-time NBA champion, just like Kobe Bryant is. He has 3 Finals MVPs and 3 NBA MVPs.
So then how many Kobe has 2 or 3? I know he got robbed on 1.
Yeah.
What was that
Steve,
one?
Steve Nash got it that
Yeah,
year.
that was.
And-
There was a
but
few
Kobe
of them
should've got-
actually.
Kobe
that,
should have won.
Yeah, and there was a few other ones that were
No,
debatable.
again, and every time people have this discussion and I say this, they're like, "Oh, you don't like him." I don't like him personally. Like, I think he's a very fake person.
Smug.
Yeah, like that's something.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
thought,
I can't disagree with that.
I thought the same thing about Michael Jordan. So it's not like I'm.
But they
picking
kind of
and
have to
choosing
be
here.
that way.
But
Play the way they do.
when I watched Kobe play, there were games he was magnificent.
I was just thinking of the Dave Chappelle Kobe.
But he had plenty of 6 for 22 games, 8 for 29
How
games.
many times did Magic score over 80?
But that wasn't his game. Magic was not a scorer.
Neither is LeBron, but
Magic
he still had his
made
games.
everyone around him better.
For sure.
Every basketball player he played with was better when
Don't
he
you
was
think
on the
being
floor.
doubled constantly is...
I'm not saying Kobe didn't.
Yeah.
I'm saying that if I'm starting a team, there's a Mount Rushmore of the NBA. Kobe Bryant's nowhere near it.
Oh, he's definitely
No, he's
top
not.
10. Yeah,
No,
crazy.
he's not.
You're
He's
crazy.
not a top 10 player.
Okay.
Maybe top 15, but he's not a top 10 player.
Your number one and mine are different, but we'll get into that one other day when we have more in the NBA
I know
play.
you like LeBron. I like Michael Jordan.
Well,
But we're not going to get into
we're not going to get into it, but if
That's another
LeBron
topic for
played in the
another day.
80s with the way they could play defense, that's all I got to say.
He wouldn't score as much as he did.
No, but he would be literally the best defender of all time, Scottie Pippen Jr., like basically. And Scottie Pippen is essentially what LeBron is. If Scottie Pippen played in this era, I feel like he would be very similar to his game.
That's a fair comparison.
Yeah, I think he's more. Kobe's more Jordan, and like that. That's what I feel like in terms of the way they play.
And we're not going to go too far on this, but the thing that makes LeBron great to me is his size to skill ratio.
Yeah, he weighs 260.
He's a linebacker who plays like a guard.
Oh, he's a
and
tight
a point
end.
guard.
Yeah.
I'm just saying he's that kind of a player.
What 6'8" linebacker you have?
Well, I'm just saying though, he's that kind of a guy. He has that. So to me, that's where what his greatness comes from. That his size to skill ratio, that he can handle like a guard, pass like a guard, but he's built like a power forward pretty much. So that's where I give LeBron the edge.
Mm-hmm.
But everywhere else is Michael Jordan. But we'll discuss this in the future.
Passing wise,
I don't want.
there's not even a question.
I don't want to. Well, yeah.
For LeBron.
Yeah, I said he's a.
Oh, okay. Defensively, whatever. We don't have to get into that. All right, so I do want to go off basketball. Kobe. Well, what's your final thought? Is he's not the greatest Laker, but he definitely is surefire Hall of Famer, first ballot. Not even a question, correct?
Mm-hmm. Sorry. I was talking to someone.
Oh, okay, good. Glad you're responding.
First ballot Hall, of course.
Yeah.
No.
You say overrated
Time
here,
out.
though. No, but you say overrated. Are you just saying overrated to the top 10 of all time?
He's
or?
Overrated in the public's eyes.
So what is he all
That's
time?
my opinion.
Where would he fall for you?
I would say he's a top 15 player. I'd give him. I'm not saying he's like 30.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but I would give him top 15. Like I said,
Well, you're one of these people that probably have Larry Bird in your.
Larry Bird is in the top 10. It's not even a discussion.
Top 5?
Borderline.
I never get enough. Who's your top 5?
I have Tim Duncan in my top 5.
I do too. Okay. Ironically, best power forward ever. And honestly, ironically, against Kobe, if you look at the stats, he's better. It's a different position.
No.
I love Tim Duncan.
It's funny we're having this discussion because I had the same discussion with a bunch of guys earlier today. So it's funny that we're having this discussion. But my top 5, well, Jordan's number 1. I probably have to put Wilt in there.
Why though?
He was just so dominant.
Yeah.
And I know he didn't play against anyone.
First of all, that's a big misconception. People think that Wilt Chamberlain, they didn't have anyone that was tall. Go back, it's almost the same.
Well, they didn't have anyone who was his tall.
They didn't come, like size-wise.
Tall. That's what I mean. And I think you have to.
Also, no 3 in the key rule.
You got to put. I'd probably have him. I'd probably have Jordan, Wilt, Russell,
LeBron,
Magic, and Larry. That's my top. And no.
LeBron?
No, take Wilt out. Actually, Duncan.
No
Duncan's
LeBron.
in there. No, LeBron's
You're
not
crazy.
in my
You're
top 5.
insane. I can't. I'm done. I'm not gonna be my top 5. That's insane to me. LeBron's not in the top 5. Are you crazy?
He's not in my top 5.
Dude, he's the first or second best player of all time.
His finals record
doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's a way different league.
All right.
If the league was the same way, the way that like free agency is and stuff back then, way different.
Look, you have yours. I have mine.
Wasn't the first lottery in '92? Was that the first?
The first lottery was in 84 when the Knicks won. 85.
Okay.
And they got Ewing.
That's the first one.
That was the very first draft lottery. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
where did that come from?
I think Kobe's amazing, and he's not my favorite player of all time, but I think he's definitely in the top 10. I also happen to think John Stockton is in the top 10, but people would think I'm crazy. But good luck touching.
No.
Good luck touching his steals or assists. No one's ever touching his assists, ever.
No.
Never.
I agree. No, I agree.
Unless LeBron plays till he's 40.
I agree.
Maybe then.
No, Stockton as a he wasn't a flashy passer, but just getting the ball where it had to be.
Did he average 14.5
He was the best.
to like
He was
something?
the best.
Yeah.
He's the best I've ever
Scott
seen.
Skiles has the record
And
for
tough,
most in a game, though.
And
30.
tough, man. Stockton was tough.
30 assists.
I know. I didn't watch the game. I remember watching highlights for that.
You know who I thought might challenge him for this season? A few years ago, Rondo, when he was in that groove, where he was passing like a maniac. He was
I'm getting
like
the hair from this hat's falling.
I know. I'm getting it on my shirt, but whatever. We're in show business, baby. You got.
That's right.
That's it. Move on.
Do it.
All right. So the
Go
NFL. Before we get to the main meat of it, you did pretty well on your daily fantasy picks.
Yes, I did.
And you had Joe Flacco.
Yes.
Who
incredible
had a
game.
rushing touchdown. Well, I mean, I wouldn't go incredible. He had a great game. Kenyon Drake, who's been well the last few weeks.
Yeah, but all of them did good.
And who was your receiver, though? You had a really good
Alshon Jeffrey.
Alshon, he did well, too. And then you had Jared Cook, which was
Yeah.
okay. All I really did well on my picks were Matt Ryan did okay, and then Greg Olsen did very well for 4,000. He literally tripled his value, basically.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, I have to tote myself in the back, pat myself. I remember a few weeks ago, this guy, not going to say his name, was talking crap about my knowledge about football, my fantasy knowledge, blah, 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 all this stuff. And I happened to face him in my semifinals last week.
Uh-oh.
And I happened to put a 30-point beat down on him.
No way.
Not just him and my
Hold him
buddy.
back. Hold him back, y'all.
So I'm going to the finals in that league. And then in my other league that my friend Michael Marks runs with a few of my other buddies, Dom Cancelleri, Mike Manfredi, giving them a little shout out, and the Fosters. I made it to the championship also. And that one I won by literally probably 90 points.
Congratulations.
But I was not favored, right, in that. Now, that's 2 out of 4 leagues. I made the championships, but I only made it in 2 playoffs. So as far as yearly, I think I'm doing pretty well. I give good advice. But Eric's been better for daily. I mean, he's literally been the QB whisperer the last few weeks.
Yeah, and I don't play as much.
I've been good with tight ends, though. Tight ends.
But I don't play daily fantasy. I put these picks out.
No, you don't.
I don't play it myself.
Yeah.
And don't ask.
You did
I
play
don't
this
know.
week.
I did, but I did terrible.
Can beat us both again.
I know. I saw that.
Yeah, but so did my cousins. And then
was
we
like,
actually have this guy, Chipotle Addict, that plays. I think he plays thousands of games, though, because he's the second highest winner on DraftKings.
Really?
Yeah. Him and his brother-in-law are 1 and 2.
Oh, my God.
So, I mean, listen, if you're taking the top percentage of lineups, there's really only like 350, 360 combinations per week that are really going to be big money combinations. So if you play the top 40% of guys, basically in lineups, and then you add a few, you're going to probably hit big on those big contests if you have the money to bankroll that, which is...
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, when I do the picks, I look at them, I pick the guys who I think are going to be of the best value for that week. Not necessarily the best guys, because those are obvious to pick.
Yeah,
But
that's why we don't really... Well, sometimes we'll sprinkle in the one that we think's a good value, but it's a good guy. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
But, yeah, for some reason, I don't, after I submit them, I don't like sit down and say, oh, let me play this week.
Yep.
I just don't. It's stupid. I should, because I'd probably be doing all right.
I'll tell you right now,
for
if we
myself.
would have picked Blake Bortles and his receivers, that was a crazy game. They were out. Marquise Lee got hurt.
Yeah, Cole, right?
Yep.
Is his
Cole
name?
and also the other guy, whatever his name is.
Hearns? Did Hearns play?
No, Hearns. That's the thing. Hearns was out.
Lee was.
Marquise Lee got injured in the game.
Right.
D.D. Westbrook, who was their second-round draft pick,
Right.
had some talent. He was there, but Cole and the other guy went off.
Yeah.
I'm talking went off. And Blake Bortles, or like I like to call him Jesus Bortles for the last 8 weeks, he's actually has the best TD to int ratio over the last 4 games than anyone in the NFL.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see him in the playoffs. I think he could be their downfall, but they have a defense.
Do you think he's turned the corner? Do you think, or this is just a good run?
I can't remember if it was his first season that he looked good.
Yeah.
Or it might have been his second season. Because this is his 4th, right? Or,
Yeah, I think it's his 3rd or his 4th. I think it's his 4th.
Right? Because it's Mariota's and Winston's 3rd, so it's his 4th.
Right.
So he's like an every other year kind of guy. So kind of like Josh Beckett in baseball. Every other year I'd pick him up. He was great. He was trash other years. But he looks great. I'm interested to see that defense in the playoffs.
I mean, that's the strength of their team.
Well, first of all right, this is just going to go off the rails. I hate the Patriots, and the reason I'm bringing it up now is because it takes essentially home field away from the Jaguars, who could have had home field advantage if the Steelers would have won.
Right.
that call was complete bullshit to me.
Mm-hmm. It was.
And we have some people watching us today, so sorry about that in person. And I thought it was BS. And they have, listen, I know there's an explanation one way, there's an explanation the other way, and this should have happened. Dez's catch wasn't a catch. All this stuff, right? The fact is, the NFL is getting too over-analytical with these things. And if it's a close play, it's supposed to be similar to baseball, where you stay with the original call.
Right.
And that was such a close play. It was unbelievable.
There's always this goes back to all the catches that were disallowed, whether it was Dez Bryant or you think about all the it's
but it was way different this time.
Well, it was different because
the Patriots have had a few come their way this last few weeks.
It used to be that if you put the ball over,
that was it, done.
It's a touchdown. It could flop out, fly, whatever.
Because they considered you a runner because the possession. You know what I mean?
He made a football move. That used to be the description. If you make a football move, which he did, his knee was down, he turned, wasn't touched, put the ball over. That's the end of the play. The play should be over there. Touchdown.
I agree.
Period.
I agree.
And then I'm watching, and I keep saying, I'm like, they're not going to call this back, are they? And Tony Romo kept saying it. He's like, there's a possibility because he didn't control it to the ground, and the ball moved when he hit the ground.
But that's such bullshit. And like I said, it's just horrible, man.
In my head, the rule is, like I said, the rule is the ball goes over all the ball has to do is cross the plane, it's a touchdown, and the play. That's it. The play is over. It doesn't, and it wasn't in the motion of a catch. It's not like he was catching the ball, falling down. He had already caught it. His knee was on the ground, and he was turning.
I know. Dude, I was...
But again, who are they playing?
The Patriots.
And again, I don't say that there's a wide conspiracy.
Oh, there's no... Whoa, first of all, I think there is. And second of all, I'm going to say it again, and I was validated this week on the very first new WFAN show that Tom Brady has a deal with the devil, all right? Bart Scott said it on the brand new show on CBS.
Yeah, that's
on
true.
the WFAN show, literally, within the first 10 minutes, he said that there's a deal with the devil for Tom Brady. Hasn't gotten hurt. He's on the Madden cover. Deal with the devil. That is it.
Well, he did get hurt once. He had a torn ACL one year. He did.
No. I'm talking about this year specifically. He's on the Madden cover.
Yeah, that's true.
Madden curse, residual effects.
Look
at his whole receiving core. They keep getting hurt. And whole team, dude.
Right. I mean, honestly, as Yankee fans, we usually experience this.
It's way different.
Really can't. No, but we can't
don't
really
cheat.
say, hello, hold on, time out.
Nope. You wanted me to get fired. You told me, get fired up. And you know what? This is it.
Jeffrey Mayer was kind of a cheating moment.
Yeah. That wasn't a cheating moment because
it wasn't
we didn't
their fault,
it.
right?
We didn't
it wasn't their fault, but I'm just saying, like, I get what other people say about the Yankees when we feel this way about the Patriots. It does seem like all the bounces go the Yankees' way, and it does seem like all the bounces go the Patriots' way.
You want me to give you another example from this weekend that gives them this? Thomas Davis got suspended for. Did you see the hit he did?
No,
It was like a late hit. It wasn't 2 games. Gronk last week, play over, elbow the guy in the back of the head, 1 game.
That's true. He shouldn't.
Dude, and
I
even
think
if
we
it gets
talked about
reduced
this.
to 1 game, it's
I don't know if we
unbelievable.
talked about it on air, but that's assault. What he did was assault a man.
We didn't because I wasn't here.
The football field. What he did. You're right. No, they definitely seem to lean. I mean, people will say, well, what about Deflategate? Brady got suspended.
Yeah, well, they punished them, but the thing is like they make up for it in other ways, I feel like.
Right.
Like, oh, we'll make sure they get into the playoffs. They'll have home field advantage. You know what I mean?
But my father always used to say that these things usually even out. Well, Dad, I'm waiting for this to even out because this team just gets more gifts and benefits than any team football team in recent memory. I cannot remember a team that just. I mean, Spygate. Nothing really happened from that. I mean.
Well, another big thing that happened in this game that's kind of overshadowed by the call is Antonio Brown is done.
Yes.
Torn
which I didn't put on the sheet. Yeah, but he tore his calf muscle. It was
another
really
huge
weird.
Injury.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. In this season of huge injuries, yes.
Pennsylvania, man. Their teams. Wentz and now this. Boom. I mean, listen, they have Juju, they have Bryant, they have a few pieces.
No, they have enough receivers.
And, Big Ben, Le'Veon Bell is basically a receiver.
Right.
I'd say the second best receiving halfback in the league, first being McCaffrey because he's basically a receiver.
Eli Rogers.
Yeah, and he's familiar with him.
Right.
Jesse James, who didn't catch that ball, he seems to like him as well.
Yeah.
So they'll be all right. Brady, now he had a shaky game the week before. He looked great in this game. He's probably the leading candidate for MVP, but
now
Todd Gurley has to be in there, man. I mean, not just after the 4-touchdown game, but it reminds me a lot of Marshall Faulk.
Like I said,
98, 99. Like
right.
around that time.
I mean,
99.
Falk had like 100 catches, but whatever. But that offense was incredible. Like that was one of the best offenses ever.
It was a different time, and it was probably the first modern era offense.
But the thing about Gurley I like is his yards per carry.
Yeah.
You know, he's 4.6, which is for a guy who carries the ball as much as he does. That's a good amount. And
they do a lot of tosses.
And Goff is better. Yeah. But he's still not a guy you go in and say, okay, we need to stop Jared Goff. Everyone's looking to stop Gurley. He's the guy that.
Yeah, but Goff puts it, but he's in the middle because. Goff,
no, I agree with you.
He's definitely not like a bum, like a game manager.
He's clearly proven this year he was worth taking number 1 overall. I think he's not as good as Wentz, but he is good enough where you could say, okay, it was a good pick for them. But I'm just saying in relation to Gurley, he's still the guy the team defense is geared to stop. So. He has all this attention, 13 touchdowns.
4 last game?
Yeah, 4 last game. He has 4 receiving touchdowns. He has 54 catches. I never even knew he was that good a receiver.
Oh, he was unbelievable in college.
This year,
it's just him getting the ball.
Right, and this year he's proven that. So, and the other thing I would say is how good they've been as a team. So now they're a good team.
Yeah.
So you have that as well.
Defense too.
So you kind of have I think I don't know if it's even. Obviously, quarterbacks always get the nod when it comes down to two players like that, quarterback and running back. Usually, quarterback always going to get the nod. So he probably is the odds-on favorite, but I think Gurley is a legit candidate. I think if
he keeps playing this way, I mean, how can you say otherwise? I mean, but Tom, you feel like it's just going to happen again, like
Speaking of quarterbacks, San Francisco might have one.
We got to run through these quick. Not to say I want to get through it, but the Jets, we got to talk. We have.
No, they can go last.
All right, fair enough.
Fine.
But yeah, Garoppolo looks great. They've won.
Yeah.
Game-winning drive. I mean,
he went the last 3 games, I think, or 4 games.
2 games he won.
Yeah.
This third one he came in halfway.
Right.
The other one, he threw a touchdown. Remember so he actually played in 3 games, started 2.
They were crap without him.
Well, luckily they freaking played him because remember they were saying they weren't going to play him?
Right, this year.
They traded a second.
But when Beathard got hurt, that's the only reason they played him.
Yeah, well, I think he was coming either way. The shoe was going to
Well, I think he might have played one of the last 2 games, but the reason he played then was because Beathard got injured.
Yeah.
So, but that trade looks good for San Francisco.
I mean,
we'll see what happens.
It looks good for the Patriots too because they're going to pull their next quarterback dynasty. Someone will slip to him, Josh Allen.
Right. Sam
Darnold will be caught smoking a joint and he'll fall.
Right.
Something like that will happen. I don't know if you saw this. A cool moment. 2 things happened in the Packers versus the Panthers. Is one, Aaron Rodgers came back, and today, actually, I don't know if you heard it, he got placed back on the IR. He's going against the Vikings, the team that hurt him, and he probably just wanted to let Brett Hundley take the beating because there's definitely going to be redemption from that.
When they were out, once they were out of it, he wasn't going to come back and play. Why would you risk that?
Yeah, I mean, listen, he played okay, but he was off on a few throws. You saw he wasn't.
Yeah, he wasn't 100%.
But the funny thing in that game, Clay Matthews, who's been one of the top defenders in the league in the last few years, he's tailed off a little maybe this year, last year, but he's not the same guy. But the last 10 years, he's been up there,
he's
right?
one of the best, obviously.
So basically, they're at the 10, 15-yard line. The Panthers have the ball, and Cam's doing his normal audible calls. And Clay goes, watch out for that swing pass. Watch out for that. And Cam goes, oh, you've been studying our tape. Well, watch this. And then he goes and he just motions McCaffrey and he throws a touchdown. It's like the coolest sound clip that I've ever seen. If you haven't seen it, go on and check it out. It's really cool. I just thought it was a cool moment.
No, it was.
There's a lot of cool moments. I mean, interesting weekend. Kareem Hunt got better.
Right.
He did return the form.
206 total yards.
Yeah.
Touchdown catch.
Trubisky looks okay. Like he's not all-star, but you definitely see signs. Bright future for the NFL. The Chiefs are, they beat the Chargers. That's a big win for them.
Yeah. They destroyed them.
The Jets.
Yeah, we're doing the Jets and Giants last this week because they're really irrelevant right now.
We have we literally have a relevant amount of time
for
them.
I wanted to put them last.
Well, the Giants look good.
The Giants played very well. Yes, they were surprisingly well. They played, but Nick Foles looked good. So I don't want to say that it was
4 touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean he played very well. The Eagles are in good hands, I think. I don't
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll
Sterling
go
Shepard
as
as well?
far. Yeah, but the Giants looked really good, and they hung tough with the best team in the NFC. A lot of people think them are the Rams. The Eagles are the Rams. So the Giants look good. I mean, what are you gonna say? It's a competitive loss. That's what you want.
Yep.
At this point for them, you want competitive losing.
That's for sure.
So, yeah.
And you know what? Honestly, I think the Giants. It's going to be a whole new team in the back, and also on the field.
Yeah. So it's hard to really project for them right now. It's gonna be interesting in a couple months.
Your thoughts on the Jets this week?
Again, they hung tough too against a team that's really good.
Yeah.
And really, the Saints are one of the best teams in football. They've been one of the best teams in football this year. And the Jets played well. I mean, they were right there. Petty.
I like
not
Petty.
A fan.
Let's
I'm
let him
not
have
a
the next 2
fan.
games and see what's up.
Well, he's gonna play because apparently Hackenberg's just not competent at all. So he's not playing.
I think that.
But the one thing I wanted to mention really quickly.
Sorry, we're signing off here, guys.
Is the
We can't take a
Muhammad
call.
Wilkerson situation? What a big waste of money. I mean,
Wash our hands and be done. We'll talk, honestly, next week. I think we should dive into that first. But listen, guys, we appreciate you tuning in to Man Up.
Yes.
Holiday edition.
Yes, Merry Christmas to everybody.
Merry
I hope you have
Christmas.
a great, great holiday.
Happy and safe.
Happy Hanukkah if you're Jewish. Happy Kwanzaa.
Festivus. For the rest of us.
All bases covered. It's a joyous time of year. I want everyone to have a good time.
And we will be back next week. Catch John and the boys next.
Yes, on Laughter Saves Lives.
Later, guys. Happy
Take care.
holidays.